Hello everyone and welcome to my Sister Wives Gossip. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Teen mom, Tyler Baltierra diagnosed with autism at 33. I got really sad. Teen mom star Tyler Baltierra revealed during the recent episode of his podcast, Kate and Ty Break It Down with his wife Caitlin, that doctors diagnosed him with autism. He is currently 33 years old and said that it felt quite liberating to finally know what he had dealt with over the years. Since childhood, he sensed that something was not right with him, but he could not pinpoint the issue. Now, after 33 years, he finally has his answers. The reality show star explained that he always had behavioral issues as a child and claimed that schools kicked him out because of them. Even when he was a baby, multiple caregivers refused to look after him. Tyler decided to get tested for autism after he and his wife, Kate, noticed that their 6-year-old daughter, Vita, acted similarly to him during his childhood. The reports did not shock him, but they brought him a sense of relief. Teen mom, Tyler talks about his father's negative influence in his life. Caitlin Lowell and Tyler Baltierra are struggling with the pain of having no contact with their daughter Carly. On Teen Mom, the next chapter, Tyler revealed why they chose adoption for their now 15-year-old. Growing up without his father shaped his fears as a young parent. Tyler admitted he worried he would screw it up and felt adoption was the best choice at the time. He explained that his dad was an addict and absent, which left him scared of repeating the cycle. Looking back, he has empathy for his father, saying, "He was younger than me and had fewer resources, so you can't hold too much against him." Today, Tyler embraces fatherhood with their daughters, Novalie, Vita, and Rhea. Caitlin even called him a great dad. Teen mom, Tyler talks about his childhood issues and autism diagnosis. In the recent episode of his podcast, Tyler revealed that he finally got answers to all his mental health struggles. He explained that after his 6-year-old daughter, Vita, started showing signs of autism, he decided to get tested. He added that both of their symptoms were quite alike. Tyler said he tries to be a little more present as a parent than his mother was. He admitted that he had behavioral issues since childhood, such as attention deficiency and hyperactivity disorder. When he saw his daughter doing the exact same things he did as a kid, something clicked for him. He first noticed small similarities and later recognized bigger patterns, which eventually led to diagnoses like ADHD and bipolar disorder. Tyler explained that when his autism diagnosis came along, it felt like a big sign of relief. But he also felt sad thinking about how he spent years not knowing what was really wrong with him. He always thought he was not normal, but he never had answers. The doctors explained a lot about the autism spectrum to him. The doctors also told him that people will have difficulty understanding him because he can never fully explain himself or his emotions. Tyler said the doctor informed him that he scored very high in masking disorder, which is very common for people diagnosed later in life. Tyler admitted that he has mixed feelings about his diagnosis. When Tyler Baltierra, best known for his longtime role on Teen Mom, opened up about a deeply personal revelation, fans were quick to flood him with support. 33 years old, Tyler has confirmed that he has been diagnosed with autism, and the emotional process of coming to terms with this news left him reflecting on his life, his relationships, and the way he's always seen the world. For years, Tyler has been one of the most outspoken cast members in the Teen Mom franchise, often using his platform to shed light on men's mental health, childhood trauma, and healing. But this latest chapter in his journey strikes an even more intimate chord, one that he admits shook him to his core at first. "I got really sad," Tyler confessed during a heartfelt conversation. "It was like everything I thought I knew about myself suddenly shifted. I had to grieve the version of me I thought I was and accept the truth of who I really am." A lifelong search for answers. Tyler's openness about his mental health journey has never been a secret. From his teenage years on MTV, fans watched him navigate complicated family dynamics, his relationship with Caitlin Lowell, and the difficult decision to place their first daughter, Carly, for adoption. Over time, Tyler spoke candidly about depression, anxiety, and the generational cycles of trauma he was determined to break. But something deeper always lingered under the surface. I always felt different, he explained. Not just in the way people sometimes feel like outsiders, but in how I processed emotions, how I reacted to certain situations, and how I could never quite understand why things felt overwhelming for me when they didn't for others. After years of therapy, self-reflection, and encouragement from Caitlin, Tyler decided to undergo a formal evaluation. That's when the diagnosis came: autism spectrum disorder. Processing the diagnosis. For Tyler, the moment was both clarifying and crushing. At first, I cried. I just felt this wave of sadness, he admitted. Because when you're older and you finally get an answer, you can't help but think, what if I had known earlier? Would things have been easier? Would I have been kinder to myself? Would I have understood why I felt the way I did growing up? That grief, however, didn't last forever. With time, Tyler began to see his diagnosis not as a limitation, but as a new lens to understand himself. I realized that this isn't something wrong with me. It's just a part of me, he shared. It explains why I hyper-focus on things, why I need structure, and even why I'm so passionate about breaking cycles of trauma. It's not a flaw, it's part of my wiring. Catalin's reaction. As always, Caitlin Lowell has stood by Tyler's side through every twist in his journey. Couple who have weathered the storms of early parenthood, mental health challenges, and public scrutiny, approached this revelation together. When Tyler told me about his diagnosis, I just hugged him, Caitlin revealed. I could see how much he was hurting in that moment, but I also reminded him that this doesn't change who he is. He's still the man I fell in love with, the amazing father to our girls, and the person who has always had the biggest heart. She added that understanding Tyler's diagnosis actually brought them closer. It gave me a deeper understanding of him. Now I can recognize when he's overwhelmed, when he needs space, or when he's hyper-focused on something. It's helped me support him behind the smile. To many fans, Tyler has always appeared as the voice of reason on Teen Mom, often balancing out the chaos around him. But behind the camera, he admits he was often masking his struggles. I learned to put on a smile even when I felt like I was falling apart inside, he said. Autism for me meant constantly trying to fit into a world that didn't always make sense. It was exhausting. Now that I know, I can start honoring myself instead of pushing myself past my limits. This honesty resonated deeply with fans, especially those who have also received late-in-life autism diagnoses. Social media quickly lit up with supportive messages, thanking Tyler for his transparency. A father's perspective. One of Tyler's biggest motivations in sharing his story is his role as a father. He and Caitlin are parents to 4 daughters: Carly, who lives with her adoptive family, Nova, Vida, and Rhea. I want my girls to know that there's nothing wrong with being different, Tyler said. If any of them ever feel like they don't fit in or they struggle with things that others don't, I want them to remember that their worth isn't tied to how normal they are. It's tied to their heart and how they love others. He also admitted that his diagnosis gave him fresh insight into parenting. Sometimes when my girls get overwhelmed or melt down, I get it now on a different level. I see myself in them, and it makes me want to be even more patient and understanding. From sadness to strength. Though his first reaction to the diagnosis was sadness, Tyler has since embraced it as a tool for growth. He now feels empowered to share his experiences with the hope of breaking down stigma and misconceptions surrounding autism. People hear the word autism and immediately think of limitations. But I see it differently now. I see the creativity, the empathy, the focus, the intensity, all these things that make me who I am. That's not something to be ashamed of. Tyler has hinted that he may even consider writing more openly about his experience in the future, whether through social media, interviews, or even a book. For him, this is about more than self-discovery. It's about using his platform to encourage others who may still be searching for answers. Fans rally around Tyler. Unsurprisingly, Tyler's revelation sparked a wave of compassion from fans who have grown up watching his journey. Comment sections and fan pages filled with encouraging words. Tyler, you've always been so brave. This diagnosis doesn't change that, it just makes you even stronger. As someone diagnosed in my 30s too, I know exactly how you feel. Sad at first, but it's also freeing. Sending love. Your openness will help so many people who are afraid to seek answers. Thank you for sharing this part of your story. Looking ahead. Tyler's journey with autism is just beginning, but he is determined to use it as a source of strength rather than a setback. He knows there will be challenges, but he also sees hope in finally having clarity. I'm not sad anymore, Tyler shared. I'm grateful. 'Cause now I understand myself better. I can be more honest with the people I love, and I can live in a way that's true to me. That's something I wouldn't trade for anything. In a world where vulnerability is often met with criticism, Tyler Baltierra continues to show that courage lies in honesty. His story is not just about a diagnosis, it's about self-acceptance, resilience, and the power of turning pain into purpose. And for fans who have followed his journey from a teenager on MTV to a father and advocate today, this chapter is proof that growth never stops, no matter how old you are when the answers finally come.